Alright, so how to make wireframes with Adobe Illustrator. So we'll go ahead and go through this. So we'll start off, get our new document. I guess before you should really start anything, the first thing that you should do is actually go to the web and pull up the human interface guidelines for any of the device that you're designing for and read these thoroughly because the developers here are just awesome because the documentation, if you follow these guidelines, you make a great app. So, start off with this. But anyway, I'm going to go with the iPhone 5 for today, and we'll go ahead and set that up. And 640, blah, blah. Boom. Go ahead and actually change that to the right view. There we go. And we'll go ahead and set everything up. So we'll drag out our rectangle, and the top, that's going to be, let's see, it's 21 pixels on the HIG, but since that's double the size for Retina, we'll go 42. And put that in place, drag that out, and top for that is 45, so 90. And then 50, so 100. All right, cool. So we have that. Let's go ahead and put our time clock in here, the standard 420, like every other development has on their site. Woohoo. Yeah, let's get a nicer font. Go with, actually, there we go, Proxinova, for all you OSU fanatics out there. I'm going to go ahead and delete these guys. Don't really need those. So the first thing that you'll want to do is once you have all the base elements of where everything's going to be at, go ahead and drag them out and make them symbols. This makes it, well, I'll show you in a second of why this is really awesome. So top, nav. Alright, so we have those. And actually, let's go ahead and drag out a few of our other elements. So, so grab our header text, and when creating any kind of header text or something for a button or anything like that, what's good is just grab the text tool and click once and then start typing. This makes it easy because then you can just drag out, and as long as you hold shift, that keeps things proportional. The downside to it is if you do go down, it will skew it. So make sure you're holding shift anytime you drag it out. Then we'll go ahead and get our body text. Let's see, for that, go back here. Go back, meet the Ipsums. It's morning, so I'm feeling like some coffee right now. There we go. Generate some code. Awesome. And text. Well, there we go. Paste that in place. And we'll want to go 16 points, so 32. And then let's go ahead and set our line height. 32 times 1.5. And how does that look? I've seen worse. Alright, that should work. So we'll go ahead and set this aside and drag out a few of our boards. So holding Alt and Shift, drag that out, and all Shift does is keep it in line, so it's an optional thing. But why you would use a symbol. So let's say you have your a few icons that are going to be a part of the bottom nav. grab some stars, make them look funny. So let's say this document has 100 views. So you have 100 screens that all have this bottom nav. And what you'd have to do is you'd have to select it, deselect that, Control C, copy, or Command C if you're on a Mac, and then Control V or Control F to paste in place. And then go and select each artboard and go Control F, and that's just obnoxious. So let's say later down the line you want to make one little minor change, and you move this over here just because you can. And now you have to then select that, deselect that, paste in place, deselect that. You get the idea. Rather than doing all that, you can actually just click into the symbol. Okay, I'm editing that symbol. Control F. And then, as long as I don't have any other assets there, it's going to be in the right spot. So that's really where the power of symbols come into play, and that's pretty awesome in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and make this a fun little app. Let's see. Yeah, let's make, so, 23 times 2. Wait, why didn't that do that? Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. So making our app, let's say, has all this awesome text. We'll go ahead and grab something to act as our image. Boom. You get the idea. And we'll go ahead, put these on a couple other pages. So let's say you have one page that has a variation that you really like, and you want to explore that variation. So rather than actually copying and pasting all those again and again, what you can just do is grab an artboard, hold Alt Shift and drag it out, and let's say we have 3 different variations and you want to change the color of this guy, and you want to make this text go away, and you just want 2 images rather. Okay, cool. So you can do, this makes it really great and fluid for doing wireframes because you don't really have to think too much about what you should actually do. You just need to basically grab an artboard, drag it out, and then make your variations of that. So that's helpful. Trying to think other things that would be useful to know. Oh, okay. So copying pasting in Illustrator. Basically, that's what you really need to know is Control C for copy, and then Control F for paste in front, and Control B for paste in back. The 2 things you need to keep in mind here is that when you're copying, you're on the artboard that you actually want to copy from. So we'll take this as an example and copy it. And if I just click on this artboard and go Control F, it's going to paste over everything. However, if I take this text and put it behind here and copy this guy again, and now I'll go Control F, it's going to paste in front of this text. This text is behind this layer, so now this is sandwiched in between these 2 guys. That's one thing that's really awesome, is that you can actually paste in front or behind of an object that is selected. So we'll go ahead and make that look a little less awful. Go ahead and paste that in back, move this text up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that works. So copy paste, that's really an awesome tool that you'll want to use throughout your wireframe whenever creating anything. Another thing that's really helpful is the alignment tool. So let's say you have a button, and actually we'll back up here a second and actually make a button. So let's say you want to go with rounded rectangles because that's the new trend these days. What a lot of people, what I always did starting off is I grabbed the rectangle tool and dragged it out, and it's like, yay, I made a rectangle. Well, that's nice, but here's a better way. So drag out a square and then go in the appearance panel. And in the appearance panel, do convert shape and rounded rectangle and make these 0. I don't know why those are default as that, but anyway, let's see what 9 pixels looks like. Yeah, we'll go ahead and, so why you would do that instead of the rounded rectangle is really when you go to drag out the same element and then all of a sudden you change size. Because this was a fixed rectangle that you started with, it's not going to actually change parameters. It's basically going to look like this, which sucks. So, appearance panel, pretty awesome. Anytime you can, I would recommend using the appearance panel because then you can select the object, and let's say you just want to make it ridiculous round because you want to. Resize it, grab your button here, well, grab some text here, don't show us again. Alright, so let's say you have your button here, and it's always going to have text that's, make sure you align it to center, that's just something to always keep in mind. So you select everything, and you want to get it aligned. A little tip, just click on the object that you want to align it to, then go to your alignment panel and set your alignment. Then Control G, and you have it, your buttons. Go in. Hi. Alright. So I'm trying to think, what else would be good for you to know? Oh, so this is pretty awesome. So if you have something that's going to be repeated multiple times, drag it out once and hold Alt and just Shift is always a good idea for any time you want to keep something in line. And drag that out, and right now it's behind the high, but Control D allows you to duplicate that action. And now you have everything in line that you can, everything's equally spaced. You don't have to worry about alignment there. This is helpful when creating a long list of forms. It's awesome. Other things, okay, quick tip, not the star, the polygon tool. So anytime you want to create a triangle, just use the polygon tool with 3 sides. A lot of people just kind of don't think of a triangle as a polygon, so yeah, that's just a quick tip. Creating a calendar or anything like that, the few areas that you'll want to live when playing around in Illustrator, so the appearance panel, anywhere within this FX, play with these guys. These are awesome. Pathfinder on occasion. Alignment you can ignore, just use the alignment panel at the top. Recommendation, always live in this palette whenever creating sizes, because hey, everything's parametric and you can move things around. Objects. This panel is probably the one place to actually look in up at the top navigation. Type's also good, but only really for fine font, because you can replace fonts throughout the entire document. So example for that, let's say I have this Proxinova, and I don't like Proxinova for some odd reason, and I want to make it Papyrus because I hate life. And I don't hate life that much not to make it look nice, or keep doing that. So now, but all of a sudden I made that awful mistake and I used papyrus throughout the entire document. Go in here, find replace. So replace with Proxinova, find that.